inside PNC Arena. 20th all-time meeting between these two teams. Let's check out tonight's starting goaltenders. It's a good matchup. For the Hurricanes, Cam Ward was victorious in his last outing, which was Friday night in Pittsburgh, a 4-2 win. He had 20 saves in that one. And Pekka Rinne, 10 of his 16 wins came in the month of November. The NHL's third star, and his goals against is number 1 in the National Hockey League right now. The Predators and the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes have won the last 3 against Nashville. They hope the magic will continue, including 2 a season ago. And Tripp, what does Bill Peters have in store tonight?
Well, he worked a little bit on his defensive zone coverage yesterday after a day off on Sunday. And he really wants his team to have the hunger to get to the front of the net against this very big and mobile Nashville defense and the best big goalie in the NHL.
Carolina starts with Riley Nash, Alexander Semin, and Nathan Gerbe. They have Ron Hainsey and Mikhail Jordan on defense. Olli Jokinen, the veteran, who they signed as a free agent in the summer months, gets it deep. To the corner now, Riley Nash will move it. Carolina looking to improve on their 7-13-3 record and their 4-4-1 accord here on home ice. Jokinen goes inside, broken up by young Jordan, playing his 3rd game, and he'll dump it out.
See how composed he is? That puck is never a hot potato on his stick for Mikhail Jordan. I've noticed that consistently since his recall.
Philip Forsberg, the NHL's Rookie of the Month, with a shot off the outside of the goalpost. He is leading the National Hockey League at a +20, better than a point per game in the month of November, and he almost scores. Andrej Sekera, blocked on the way through at the defense by Roman Josi. James Neal, the former Pittsburgh Penguin and Dallas Star, deep in his own zone. Josi, the Swiss-born defenseman, takes over, and the Predators get it out to neutral ice.
It was a good one, Josi, out of Switzerland, and you saw Forsberg, who we spoke about there with the puck in our open. He has a very, very good release when he shoots the puck.
Nashville number 2 in the West at 16-5-2, 6-4-1 on the road. Craig Smith with a shot blocked by Tim Gleason and Colin Wilson. His rebound trickled in off the pad of Cam Ward. He had the game-winning goal in their last game, which is a 2-1 win at home over Columbus on Saturday night. And the Predators have won 4 straight. Seth Jones picks it off. Out to center now on the transition. Kelly Yarncroke over the line. The Preds are offside. We get a stoppage here as we take a look at the Rex Express Care injuries and scratches. Rex Healthcare, chosen for excellence.
Well, the Hurricanes, after going with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen in the home and home with the Pittsburgh Penguins, go back to the conventional 4 lines and 6 defensemen. At the bottom there, you saw Jordan Staal. And there's a chance we will start talking about Jordan's progress more and more. And that's good to know that he's out of that boot. He's making good progress.
Zach Boychuk over the line. Paul Goffstad coming down on him. You get a great look there. Boychuk back to the point. Sekera now feeds it. Pekka Rinne let it go. Out of the reach that time it's Seth Jones. Carolina's Jay McClement looking for Boychuk. And now Anton Volchenkov, the former New Jersey Devil, an Ottawa Senator, tries to clear. Andrej Sekera goes deep, and Pekka Rinne will play it. He'll move it by Seth Jones, by Eric Nystrom, and out to the center zone.
Boy, both of these goaltenders have really improved in their handling of the puck. There you saw Pekka Rinne doing it. I think it's been a big part of Cam Ward's success in the month of November.
Rinne was injured for most of last season with hip surgery. Boy, is he healthy now. At the top of his game, Alexander Semin to flex wide off Mattias Ekholm. Loose along the boards now. Mike Fisher, who's just come back from an Achilles problem sustained in the offseason. He's playing only his 3rd game of the year. He's centering this line. Jordan broken up by the former Hurricane and Stanley Cup winner Matt Cullen. Olli Jokinen denied in the Carolina zone, and Ryan Ellis will get it deep.
I want to say Matt Cullen may have been the first star of Game 7 to win the Stanley Cup against Edmonton. Frank Caberlet had a big night, too.
He had a career season, as many did and many do, under Peter Laviolette. To the outside, Mike Ribeiro, a give back. Mattias Ekholm with a shot blocked on the way through by Jordan. He attempts to get it out. Eric Staal turns a bit off the wall, held in by Ryan Ellis. James Neal back for Ellis. Ellis holding on to it, a screen shot blocked by Mikhail Jordan. And here come the Hurricanes, 3-on-2. Over the line, Elias Lindholm turning 20 today. Jordan shut down by Rinne. And we get a stoppage.
Boy, you look at Mikel Jordan, starts it in his own end with composure, and then the middle lane drive that you're looking for. Here he is. Watch him get the puck to the outside and then just drive up the ice. Now, you'd love it to see it be a little quicker. Actually, Gerby could have come to the middle and been the guy that drove the middle. And then Jordan could have been a trailer. I think that would have been a better executed rush. But Jordan did everything you could ever ask of him there.
Victor Rask along with Andre Nestrasho and Jeff Skinner for Carolina. The fourth line comes out for Peter Laviolette. Centered by Paul Gostad with Eric Nystrom and Taylor Beck. Out to center ice now. Nestrasho for Carolina. Throws on the break. Good pass. Falk shot. Denied at the defense by Volchenkov. Falk holding onto it. His bid caught by Pecorine.
Jordan joining in the rush, and then Falk doing it. Nifty saucer feed from Nestrasho. Peter Laviolette, good to see him back in the building. Good to see him having success. And, you know, there were a couple of different teams that wanted his services. And he said the biggest reason that he chose Nashville, it reminded him of Raleigh. And that's a heck of an endorsement to this area here in the Triangle.
And again, whenever he takes over, the Islanders, Carolina, the Flyers, early in his tenure, he's magic. Now, Jan Krook, broken up on the way through. He's a good-looking young Swede, former Detroit farmhand. Colin Wilson to the outside of Jiri Tlusty as they grind a cycle. He'll get it deep for Craig Smith, the young man out of the University of Wisconsin. Moving up now is Roman Josi, denied here. The Hurricanes attempting to get it out. Wilson back to the point. Josi chops it one. They stay onside. Craig Smith, he'll take over along the wall. He'll grind it. He works Sekera. Craig Smith now, interrupted by Eric Stahl. They punch it back out.
See, this is something that has plagued Carolina. Chances to get pucks out of their own end. And you need that bear down factor. That's one of the reasons Nashville has had a tough time in specialties, but is still leading their division. They really, really bear down in the true team areas in 5-on-5.
Their power play is 27th. Their kill is 24th. Yet they're one of the best teams in the league. So sometimes those stats belie reality. Now Mike Fisher with a shot off a stick wide. Volchenkov hammers one, bodied down by Cam Ward. Volchenkov again denied here by Jay McClement. And away go Carolina out to neutral ice. Nice move. Pat Dwyer racing out as Rinne. Loose along the wall now, getting to it. Holyokainen back out to neutral ice.
Good job defensively for Carolina boxing out. Then the key for Rinne, second good puck handling decision he's made. You can't have any hesitation. You've got to decide and go, and he did. Let's take a look at some of this early action. Boychuk back in the lineup with four-line stress, and you see, perfect look. If you hesitate and say, well, should I stay or should I go? Isn't that a song? You are cooked like the Thanksgiving turkey. You have to make a real decision and follow through immediately.
Matthias Ekholm now plays it along. Neal to an open corner. Mike Ribeiro dropping it off. Neal's shot blocked by Jordan, and the Hurricanes wheel out. Zach Boychuk interrupted by Mike Ribeiro. Carried in by Forsberg, sealed off by Cam Ward, and no further play. Let's take a look at the Storm Tracker. Trip tonight's game keys.
There's that release. Forsberg's part of the third Storm Tracker. Even a better 5-on-5 because Nashville is probably the top even strength team in the NHL. Carolina has better special teams. So if you're even at even strength, Carolina has the edge. Two very confident netminders based on how they played November. And the four good young Swedes. Forsberg, Jarnkrok for Nashville, and of course, Elias Lindholm and Victor Rask for Carolina. Boy, good young Swedish forwards.
Gary Jarnkrok on the draw here. Kelly Jarnkrok is centering this line with Craig Smith. Colin Wilson. Nashville has tremendous balance among their four lines as now Wilson goes deep. Cam Ward out to play it. Justin Falk, good headman feed for Victor Rask. Stretch pass for Skinner. Jeff Skinner asserts his shot just wide. Falk with a shot negated, brought out by Colin Wilson. Wilson has a trailer. Moving up is Roman Josi. Good play by Victor Rask. He'll keep him to the outside.
That's the cerebral two-way nature of Rask. The defenseman pinch, he's there to cover, and he plays a one-on-one beautifully. That's one of the reasons he's on the point of the power play. Good defensive forward.
Paul Gostad, the former Buffalo Sabre, all the way back out to neutral ice. In control now. Taylor Beck on the right side with a shot. Fought off by Ward. He has the rebound. He centers one. Nobody home. Broken up by Alex Semin, and away go the Hurricanes. Out to center ice. Semin across now for John Michael Lyles, who throws on the brakes. Threads it across. Good play by Seth Jones, the second-year defenseman. Through the center zone and in the Carolina bench. We get a break and play. 13-11 left to go in the opening period. Full Southern hospitality tonight. Nashville, Carolina.
A key area in practice yesterday. Carolina's given up some goals. The weak side forward there, Patrick Dwyer, goes to the high forward. He leaves the weak side defenseman. That's a game-winning goal not so long ago in Colorado. So, the F3, that's the key guy. You want to make sure your strong side forward, that's the guy that needs to help out where the puck is. The weak side forward who had left on that previous highlight stays with that defenseman in case he creeps down like Redmond did for Colorado on that game-winning goal. That was a key part of practice yesterday.
Just about 7 minutes gone in the first period. John Tripp and Chantel with you as always. The Washington Capitals are here as the homestand will continue on Thursday night. It starts with Hurricanes live at 6:30. Seth Jones wheels it across as they go D to D. Shea Weber, Taylor Beck in for a chance on Ward, who shuts it down.
What a pass by Shea Weber as he was getting off for a change. I mean, just a super zippy pass on sides on the tape.
Seth Jones given a rough ride that time by Zach Boychuk. Shea McClement, a wrap chance. Rene in a scramble makes the save. And getting to it now is Seth Jones, and away go the Preds.
Good to see Boychuk get to the front of it. Played a little bit for Nashville.
Mike Fisher wide of Cam Ward. Top of your screen, Nashville's Ryan Ellis along the dasher. It stays on the shelf. All the way around this way for Tim Gleason. And it's dumped out by Alex Semin. Matthias Ekholm at the Carolina line. Tied up by Nathan Gerbe. That gives the Hurricanes a chance to regroup. Shots are 5-3 as we see, favoring Nashville. Turning away here is Riley Nash away from Mike Ribeiro. Nash deep in his own zone, pestered by James Neal. Broken up by Riley Nash, and now Alexander Semin starts his engine. Semin over the line, approaching the defense. And Ekholm, good play by Matthias Ekholm. Forsberg back now for Ryan Ellis. They reorganize.
Well, the good news was that was north-south from Semin moving his feet. Didn't look like he had the confidence in his hands that he typically does.
Along the wall now, Forsberg had it, lost it. Broken up here and carried out by the Hurricanes' Eric Stahl. For Elias Lindholm. Ekholm is on him. Ribeiro neutralized. Philip Forsberg. We'll move it by Falk, who takes him out. And Carolina now restarts.
Yeah, because Forsberg's friend Lindholm was there with back pressure.
Carolina well offside. Yuri Tlusty in the zone. 11:07 left in period one.
More than ever, John, if you can't move the puck in this league as a defenseman, you can't play. Look at that head up. And then the no-looker just to allow Beck to, maybe gain a little bit of separation. And the former member of Scott Walker's Guelph Storm, Beck makes a move to the forehand, and Cam Ward, excellent save.
Just about 9 minutes gone in the period as we see John Michael Lyles paired on defense tonight with Tim Gleason. He'll go deep. The Rask line is out for Bill Peters. Victor with a shot wide of Pecorine. Moves this way for Jeff Skinner. Camped out down low is Andre Nestrashel. Broken up at the Nashville defense by Roman Josi. And now Kelly Yarncroke will play it along for Roman Josi. Josi now scoots out to center. In the zone, he drops it back for Colin Wilson. Out in front, swept wide by Yarncroke. Getting to it is Craig Smith. It goes by Yarncroke, and now in deep. Carolina will attempt a breakout.
And Yarncroke is Elias Lindholm's cousin. They live about 2 doors down from each other in the summer in Gävle, Sweden.
Out to center ice, Craig Smith. Broken up by Jeff Skinner. The Hurricanes will get a line change here. So will Nashville halfway through period one.
There's Seth Jones having just played his 100th game in the same draft as Elias Lindholm. That very, very highly projected first round.
Icing called here against Nashville. If the Canes score 3 or more goals tonight, get a free large pizza when you buy a large regular priced pizza online at participating Papa John's the day after the Canes score 3 or more. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Former Western Hockey Leaguer Seth Jones taken just ahead of Elias Lindholm. Just played his 100th game. He doesn't have a goal yet this year. But boy, like Nashville's defense, he is a big defenseman who doesn't lack any quickness. Big and mobile.
Comes from a basketball family. It's been well documented. Popeye Jones, his dad, currently an assistant coach with the Indiana Pacers. It comes all the way back. Elias Lindholm now in control. The neutral ice for Carolina, Yuri Tlusty. Dropping it off for Ron Hainsey. Negated. Roman Josi has room. Here he comes. On the off wing, he centers one back. Good defensive stick by Elias Lindholm. In the corner now, it's Olli Jokinen. Jokinen grinds a cycle. Back for Shea Weber. His shot goes wide through a screen. Getting to it is Roman Josi. For Matt Cullen. Cullen away from Stahl. Olli Jokinen in back of Ward. He'll look it over. Jokinen dangling now in back of 30. To the outside, he'll play it indirectly back to Shea Weber. Picked off by Jiri Tlusty, and out they come.
Lindholm made 2 good defensive plays on that shift.
On a change, they almost had a cherry-picking Olli Jokinen, but icing is called.
Too many neutral zone turnovers for Carolina, and there they get lucky. Let's look at the Carolina defense. Remember, Bill Peters wants them to join the rush. Big part of the game plan. Sekera does it. Good stick coverage from Nashville. Jordan does it on a play he started, and then Falk does it. And Volchenkov there wearing 20 for Nashville. Some pretty good coverage after Carolina's defensemen are making some good reads to join.
Hurricanes are going up against the top defensive team in the National Hockey League right now. Pecorine has a lot to do with that. They are the best even strength team, the best 5-on-5 team right now at a plus 21, 5-on-5. Here's Justin Falk in control through the center zone. They hit the line with steam out in front. Nathan Gerbe tries to get to a loose puck. Taylor Beck away now for Eric Nystrom. Heading away from Falk. He'll drop it back. Gostad with a shot turned out by Cam Ward. Now it's stolen here by the Hurricanes' Andre Sekera as they attempt to get it out.
They play 4 lines, Nashville. That's the 4th line that just got that chance, and a pretty decent one. And, you know, when a team has the comfort of playing 4 lines, that definitely makes you a group where outfield involved.
We will hear from Canes assistant coach. There he is, Steve Smith with Chantel McCabe on the other side of this break.
In the first with assistant coach Steve Smith, Justin Falk has been very reliable in his own end, and in November produced 13 points. What stands out to you the most with his game right now?
Well, I think he's just starting to find his own right now. Early in the season, you know, we were trying to find ourselves as a team. He struggled a little bit defensively. He's come on really well the last little bit. He's been very, very physical. He moves the puck. He's lugged the puck out of the zone with his feet. He's just made an awful lot of smart plays. He's been our go-to guy in the point thus far, and it's unfortunate. He's got a little bit of a minus going because he's played against top lines every night, but he's played really well.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Well, Steve Smith, I believe, challenged him in practice right at the beginning of this month. I remember right when the team got back from Vancouver after that Western Canadian swing, and I asked Smith what they talked about. He kept it private as well. He should have, and Falk's game turned around. I think he really challenged him.
Jiri Tlusty has some room. Good stick by Shea Weber, who's a 3-time finalist for the Norris Trophy as the league's best defenseman. Roman Josi knocks it out of midair for Nashville as they attempt to get it out. Here's Weber. Shea Weber. Spring pass over the line now. Neal to the outside. Back for Weber in the skates that time. A good pass, though, from Mike Ribeiro. At least a good idea. Ribeiro in back of the goal. On the flank, Neal. His shot off the blocker of Cam Ward. Philip Forsberg back to a vacated point position, and the Preds recoil.
You can see where Falk wants to get to be an all-around excellent defenseman. Shea Weber, for instance, is plus 11. Falk is minus 6 in his last 11 games, but he does have 10 points. And to me, it all started, you and I were doing a game on a Friday night and early, I believe this was November 7th, and Falk had 7 shots. And I had never remembered a night where offensively he was that noticeable. He didn't have any points, but since then he has 10 points in his last 11 games.
13 points in all in November. Mark Giordano of Calgary leading all defensemen in November with 16 points, and Falk is number 2. Shot 7-3 Nashville, and they've had the majority of scoring chances as Volchenkov will get it deep. Ron Hainsey pressured by Craig Smith. Carried out by Carolina's Victor Rask. Out of the reach of Andre Nestrashel, played here by Volchenkov. Smith for Nashville. Button hooks. Yarncroke goes to the corner. Wilson back to the point. Hammered by Volchenkov. It's tipped on the way through. Ward had it. Now Hainsey will cushion it out to the neutral zone for Jeff Skinner. Working Seth Jones. Victor Rask. Blocker save. Pecorine. Now Rask threads it across. Turning his Falk. Off the skate of Volchenkov. Nestrashel blocked on the way through by Kelly Yarncroke, and it comes all the way back down.
Bit of a brain cramp there by Yarncroke to ice that puck before he gained the red line. Boy, Pecorine shows you why. When you match size with quickness, I mean, at times you're almost unbeatable. Heck of a feed from Skinner to Rask. Maybe Rask has got a slightly better chance to score if he's a right-handed shot, but as a lefty, he has more of a chance to protect the puck. You see Rena get over and make the save with the quickness of a guy that's 5'5".
Jay McClement against Kelly Yarncroke. Quick shot by Boychuk. Good save by Pecorine.
See that one? That was a size save. So you see the quickness save, and then you see a guy that is gifted as a big man, as Pecorine is at 6'5". You know what? I'm just going to use my size here and absorb this puck. That's impressive goaltending of reading the situation, doing different things.
Mike Fisher now will face off against Jay McClement, who wins it back. Sekera, Carolina number 4 in terms of face-off acumen coming in. League-wide, Dwyer. It's stick saved by Rene. Now it's dumped out by Matt Cullen. In the center ice area, the Predators' Mike Fisher, wedged by Sekera. Boychuk punches along for Dwyer, and here they come. Patrick Dwyer with a shot negated by Roman Josi. Pecorine leads to the back of the goal. Dwyer pounces on it. At Dwyer to the outside, grinding a cycle away for Zach Boychuk. He dangles on Mike Fisher, who plays it well, but in support, Patrick Dwyer. Out of the 4-man scrum, Boychuk. Guys will turn it out in front. Shea Weber comes across on him. Loose along the boards now, and the Predators will survive as they get it out. Mike Fisher dumps it in. They get a change. Tim Gleason goes D to D for John Michael Lyles. Little wedge by Boychuk, and you see it come all the way back.
Well, the Hurricanes, these teams have traded transitional chances here in this first period. To me, the key is going to be which team has more back pressure and therefore tighter gaps in the neutral zone as this game goes along. Good there from Carolina to force the dump.
Mike Ribeiro gets it deep. And back of the goal now. And now to the corner for Tim Gleason, who throws on the brakes. Lyles hinging. Stretch pass off the stick of Ribeiro and out of play. 5:19 left to go in the opening period. Still looking for our first goal tonight here in Raleigh. We're back in Raleigh late in period 1, scoreless. Tripp, you want to talk about the neutral zone because that is a vital area.
Yeah, it starts with Semin breaks the stick, John. But Riley Nash, I think, reads the situation and really makes, I think, a good slashing play. Stop it right there. So you look at, this is the slash coming across with a purpose, getting on your horse. And that forces the dump in. And the Hurricanes actually go back, and Lyles and Gleason communicate and get the puck out with ease. Doesn't happen if you don't have that slash. It was pretty heady from Riley Nash.
It was off the stick of Colin Wilson. Yarncroke away now for Craig Smith. Elias Lindholm with a give back. Lindholm with 7 goals in the month of November. He was credited with Carolina's second goal, the one scored just over 11 seconds left in regulation time. They originally gave it to Eric Stahl, changed it after the game. Calle Yarncroke going down. Little help that time from Tim Gleason. Colin Wilson to the outside. They snap it back now for Shea Weber. Weber goes deep for Wilson. Wilson let it go. Yarncroke gives chase. Golfed by Eric Stahl. The length of the ice. This will be no icing. One linesman had it as icing. Then it was waved off late by Jay Scherers.
You look at these two Swedes, Yarncroke and Forsberg. General Manager David Poile with Paul Fenton acquiring these two players from Washington and Detroit. I mean, to acquire 2 young, good players like these two, I mean, those are big-time acquisitions.
Now Falk will move it back for Andrej Sekera. It deflects all the way back, and tonight is the 2400th game for General Manager David Poile. And that combines his tenure with Washington and mostly with Nashville. He's been their only general manager since 1997.
And you look at it, he made a trade with his old friend from Washington, George McPhee, trading Marty Irad to get Forsberg, and then Detroit needed centerman, so Legwand went for Calle Yarncroke. I mean, boy, those are good deals.
And they've drafted very well. Jordan with a shot, steered along by Pecorine, a force by Ron Hainsey. You see it pop out. Zach Boychuk is on it. Carolina attempts a transition. Oliokonen had it, lost it. Hainsey with his head up now starts the play. In neutral ice for Jay McClement. It was by Patrick Dwyer. They will change on the fly. Rene and the trapezoid let it go for Weber. A reverse now. It's played here by Anton Volchenkov. Through the center ice area intended for James Neal. In the center zone, Alexander Semin springs Nathan Gerbe. Semin holding. He waited too long. Swept along by Volchenkov and back out. Philip Forsberg in a foot race with John Michael Lyles.
Early in Semin's career, nifty play there, changing lanes from Gerbe. He shoots that puck immediately.
Now he fakes, goes to the outside of Matthias Ekholm, who plays it well. Ekholm in control. He'll wheel it back out. Ribeiro, give back for Neal. Through the middle of the ice, it kicks off the skate of Forsberg. Neal Along the wall, Ribeiro had it, lost it. Here's Nathan Gerby. Gerby crisscrossing, approaching Ekholm. Semin now miscommunicates to an open corner. Carried out here by James Neal. Creeping up, Andre Sekera. Good play, and Carolina forces the turnover.
Speaking of good plays, Lyles had a couple there on Forsberg. That is not an easy assignment.
Andre Sekera sealed off. Getting back on him that time, Paul Gostad. Along the boards now. Taylor Beck, broken up by Sekera. Middle of the ice, moved along by Toulouse. Shot by Falk, deflects high, and it goes out of play. PNC Arena installed a state-of-the-art lighting system this season using LED technology developed and manufactured by Durham One, NC-based Cree Incorporated. The installation made PNC Arena the first NHL venue in the U.S. to feature LED lighting.
Hey, John, you and I watched for years Alex Semin come in as the Washington Capital and just zip that thing glove high on whoever the Carolina goaltender was.
Ron Hainsey, Jordan with a shot, blocked. Losing his stick in the process was Eric Nystrom. Jordan, middle of the ice, battle won by Paul Gostad, and he'll get it deep. Cam Ward out to play it in the trapezoid.
Last few minutes, both teams, I think, have settled into their neutral zone, and, there just isn't as much real estate as there was early.
Yuri Toulouse to the outside of Roman Josi. His shot deflects wide off the stick of Josi. Eric Stahl for Elias Lindholm. Lindholm to the corner. Shea Weber cancels him. Nystrom along the boards for Nashville. Tries to get it out. Hampered by Eric Stahl. Out of the four-man scrum. It pops back to Gleason. This way for Lyles. His shot knocked down by Toulouse. Defended by Roman Josi. Back to the point. John Michael Lyles. One-timer Gleason. Sliding out. Eric Nystrom. And it careens back. Carolina attempts to catch Nashville in a change. Andre Nostrasho. Tip. They score! Jeff Skinner with a magic stick against Nashville once again. And the Hurricanes are off and running.
Line change is so important. I want you to watch this area on both sides. Nashville, that's not the... Well, actually, I don't think they thought Carolina was going to get the puck up the ice so quickly, so they thought they were okay to change. And you want Skinner out there against Volchenkov, who's your fifth or sixth defenseman. Skinner can win that quickness battle, and he just is able to show his hands to elevate that puck and beat Pecorine. But to me, line changes hurt Carolina on Saturday, helped him there.
He had 4 goals in 2 games against Nashville a season ago, both games won by Carolina. And he scores his 6th goal of the season here. Jeff Skinner makes it 1-0. Andre Nostrasho coming back for the Canes, looking for Shane McLennan. Nostrasho losing control. Falk now will give chase deep in his own zone. Justin Falk along the boards. Skinner now for Carolina. Pinching down was Ryan Ellis, and Andre Nostrasho will pitchfork it out. The assists go to Andre Nostrasho and John Michael Lyles on Skinner's 6th goal of the season at 18:59.
Well, we have seen some good passes in his short tenure with Carolina by Nostrasho. I mean, you look at Yarncrook and Nostrasho, they were playing for Detroit's American League affiliate together in Grand Rapids at this time last year.
A championship caliber team. As we see Mr. Skinner, and we see the goal one more time.
Well, we talked about him in our open. I think Lyles has had a very good first period. Look at Nostrasho. Protect the puck. He doesn't loop, he stops and starts. That's hard hockey. You know what it does? It buys time. And it gives Skinner a chance. And that's the matchup you want. Skinner against a guy like Volchenkov. And he makes good on it.
Eric Stahl will take this face-off. 4 and a fraction left in the period. Roman Josi goes hard around with it. And that'll do it. 8 shots for Nashville, no goals. 6 shots for the Hurricanes and 1 goal late. And it comes from Jeff Skinner. Elias Lindholm on his birthday will be Tripp's guest. We kick off the PNC Bank first intermission. Hurricanes 1 and the Predators no score on Fox Sports Carolinas. Jeff Skinner has the game's only goal. We get ready for the second period here in Raleigh.
See that white wax on his white tape? He's been going with black wax. You can use either one. He needs it to keep his blade just sticky enough to shoot past the puck. Hasn't been scoring, so he switched from the black to the white wax. It paid off.
A steal by Philip Forsberg out in front. Knocked out of midair by James Neal. Mike Ribeiro had it, lost it after a fine block from Justin Falk. Ribeiro pushed along by Eric Stahl. James Neal out of the corner. Justin Falk in his own zone as the Hurricanes attempt to get it out. It was choked off momentarily by Roman Josi. Now we see Carolina buzz back in the Nashville zone. Stahl shot handled by Pecorine, and we get a stoppage of play. Let's take a look at the first period numbers, brought to you by Buffalo Brothers. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Boy, look at the block shots. That shows a good desperation level for Carolina. I thought both teams were a little loose in the neutral zone in the first 10 minutes, especially Carolina, but then the Hurricanes really adjusted and improved, and again, it's a good line change that creates the goal with a good matchup. Skinner on Volchenko.
John Forsland along with Trip Tracy, Chantel McCabe at ice level, along with our fine crew here at PNC Arena, this homestand, which is 5 games in duration. We'll move on to Thursday night. The Washington Capitals are here, and we will start with Hurricanes live at 6:30. Detroit's in on Sunday at 5 o'clock. New Jersey wraps it up on Monday night of next week. Now it's fed along, brought in by Ryan Ellis, captured by Victor Rask, and he'll scoop it all the way back in the Nashville zone. Matthias Ekholm reverses for Ryan Ellis. They headman the puck. Kalle Järnkrok out to center ice. The young Swede now moves in by Andre Nestrashel, who had the primary assist on the game's only goal, and it comes all the way back in.
Heck of a play. Look at Nestrashel there. He's on his offside on the wing at his own end. Very comfortable.
Along the boards now, Riley Nash. It goes by Seth Jones. Alexander Semin takes over. Semin in control. He'll stop ahead of Jones. Stop and start. Semin protects the puck, goes deep. Riley Nash taken out by Anton Volchenkov. Back it goes, Nathan Gerbe. Gerbe slides along here for John Michael Lyles. Indirect pass for Semin. He'll turn, set up Gerbe, just wide. Riley Nash all the way back for Tim Gleason. His shot off Volchenkov. Out of the corner, Olli Jokinen. Nashville now hemmed in. Good shift by this line. Gerbe with a steal. Nathan Gerbe. Power move out in front. It kicks around, and the Predators again escape harm as they get it back out to center ice.
Well, good shift now. You just can't stay on too long. Nash is still on the ice. Gerbe and Semin. Semin, heck of a feed, but you would like to have seen either Semin or Gerbe get off when the puck was still in the Nashville zone. That was a heck of a try.
Carolina with a cross-corner dump in. Roman Josi is on it for Nashville. The Hurricanes in the process of a change, and now Justin Falk retreats in his own zone, sets up Andrej Sekera. He'll cushion ahead for Jay McClement. Josi looks over his shoulder. Dwyer is forechecking for Carolina. Here's Taylor Beck. Out to the center zone with Eric Nystrom and Paul Gaustad. The back check by Carolina's Zach Boychuk.
And it was that slash play I talked about with Nash in the first period, coming across the ice to help out and really hound the puck from all the way, really virtually the other boards.
Over the line now, moving up, Jay McClement, swallowed by Pecorine, and we get a stoppage of play.
Well, a couple of good looks. First offensively for Carolina as Semin takes a look. Great feed, and Gerbe just can't generate really anything. Boy, that is a guy playing his offside. That's a left shot, Nestrashel on the right side of the ice and making it look easy. He was playing center in junior. That's when he had to make the shift to the offside, playing the wing. And you can tell he doesn't get rattled at all.
Off the draw, Mikkel Jordan at the point. It goes inside for Eric Stahl through the blue and out. Played this way by Matt Cullen. Jordan coming all the way back in his own zone. Icing is called here against Nashville. We'll swing it back.
You know, when you look at that Gerbe attempted finish off of Semin's pass, Brett Hull, nobody did it better. You know, his knees were practically touching the ice. You know, that's what you have to do to put yourself in a position to shoot the puck in one-time or one-wristing fashion. It looked like his position was pretty good. He just had an element of fan to it.
Face-off is one back. Out of the corner now, moved along by Roman Josi, by Mikkel Jordan, all the way back in the zone. Icing once again. And the Carolina Ale House is the spot for pool bars. The next one is in North Raleigh on December the 11th. You can log on to CarolinaHurricanes.com for more details.
Well, let's see if Matt Cullen's going to take this draw. Olli Jokinen, also a left shot, can take it. You have Gaustad a left shot, and they're the two guys, Jokinen and Gaustad, that actually turn their sticks over depending on what side the face-off's on.
Shea Weber Moves it back. Roman Josi handcuffing a man. That's Matt Cullen who snaps it along the boards. 3 consecutive icings here against Nashville.
And the reason you do that, you're going to look at the top of Cullen's stick. He's going to take this face-off again. We talk about it all the time. That blue tape, you do not want it impeded in the body of the linesman. You want it away from the linesman so you can create leverage. So Cullen, say, is a left shot. If he's on the other side of the ice, a guy like Jokinen or Gaustad would turn the stick over and become a righty.
Nash wins it back for John Michael Lyles, just wide through a partial screen. Tim Gleason, a force for Carolina. It was by Nash. Covering up at the point nicely was Alexander Semin. Nash goes deep. Rene directing traffic. Shea Weber hard pressed by the forechecking of Gerby. Swung back for Gleason. His shot caught by Pekka Rinne.
A good forechecking shift for Gerby and Nash and Semin. Nashville finally gets the line change they've been looking for. You know they're tired, and it's sort of a whole play from Semin. Because there's pretty good coverage. They're tired. Maybe you actually protect the puck, you skate with it, wait for something to develop, knowing the fatigue element.
Ryan Ellis, a face-off win by the Preds. They get it out. Sekera paired on defense with Justin Falk. He'll snap it hard around top of your screen. Ryan Ellis steers it for Philip Forsberg. Punched along by Sekera. Gained again, and here they come. Mike Ribeiro over the line. He'll dangle. With back pressure by Nostrashel. Jeff Skinner in control. And away they go. You're looking at Victor Rask. Rask over the line. His shot pumped right on Rinne. And we get a break in play. Coors Light. Cold hard facts. We'll take a look at our first installment here tonight. There's the subject. Young Philip Forsberg right now in terms of plus and minus in the National Hockey League. He leads by 3 over Anton Strawman of Tampa Bay and Vladimir Tarasenko of St. Louis.
That tells you something about being a two-way centerman if you're Forsberg. He actually played with Victor Rask a little bit in Leksand Suite. They're 1 year apart in their birth year. They both played a year up. Rask is a 93, Forsberg is a 94, and Forsberg played with the 93s in Leksand, Rask with the 92s.
Jordan, it deflects high off the stick of Craig Smith. Along the wall now. Moved by Ryan Ellis. Colin Wilson for Nashville. This way for Craig Smith. He had to wait for it. Mikkel Jordan coming across. Ron Hainsey looking over his shoulder at Yarncroke, and now it's played by Wilson. One-timer Ellis. Wide of Cam Ward, snapped along by Matthias Ekholm. Let go for Colin Wilson out of the corner. Back to the point. Mike Ribeiro, his shot canceled. A good block that time by Eric Stahl. Free to the corner. Elias Lindholm can't make it happen. Ryan Ellis for Nashville. Craig Smith, he'll stop and start on Jordan. Turn away, it's loose. All the way back, and out of that foot race, he gets to it, but in neutral ice. Mikkel Jordan with a steal. This way for Eric Stahl. Stahl has time. His shot swallowed by Pekka Rinne.
Good play from Jordan again there, John, jumping in. There you look at some of these rookie shots on goal leaders, and I mentioned again that they both played a year up. That's a tough thing to do. That's playing a year above your birth year, and both Forsberg and Rask played their amateur hockey in Leksand Suite, but they rarely played together because they're 1 year apart, and they both played a year ahead of their birth year. Ryan Ellis shoot that puck, by the way, too, 4 for Nashville. He has a heavy, heavy shot out of the Windsor Spitfire organization.
Off the face-off now, Jay McClement. Broken up. Paul Gaustad floats along for Taylor Beck. Tim Gleason defending him. Beck throws on the brakes. Pulls up a backhand. Turned out. Good stop by Cam Ward. Played here by Jay McClement. Nashville cuts the ice in half. Beck attempts to get it deep. Lyles goes across. Gleason in control. Goes by Dwyer. You see it come back. Pekka Rinne has to be careful. It gets to the corner. Anton Volchenkov. Away now for Eric Nystrom. Nystrom moves it back again for Volchenkov, who handcuffs Seth Jones. Fed along now and deep. The puck on its edge. Volchenkov away now for Nystrom and back out. Justin Falk with a steal. Nashville restarts.
Carolina may have gotten away with a high stick on Nystrom. No penalties yet in this game.
Gaustad out to center ice. Willie Jokinen goes deep. Cam Ward leaves it for Andrei Sekera. Riley Nash off the boards and out. Shea Weber lays it off a body off Nash. Predators turn it back. Matt Cullen fought off. Covered by Cam Ward. Elias Lindholm's mom and dad with Chantel McCabe on his birthday when we come back to Raleigh right after this.
In the second period, it's Elias Lindholm's 20th birthday, and for the occasion, his parents came out to visit. His father, Michael, and his mom, Jillian, are right behind me now. Michael, I want to ask you, Elias, 5th overall in the draft last year. He's the youngest Swedish-born player to score an NHL goal, but what is your proudest moment as a parent of Elias?
I'm proud of all his person. He's a very nice guy, and even if he haven't made the NHL, I've been proud of him.
There's a lot of great things about him, including what a great person he is. Last year to this year, he's made a ton of improvement. Where have you seen the most improvement in his game?
He's one more year older, and he's stronger, and he looks more comfortable. And yeah, he's better in everything, I think.
You told me he has a quicker shot too.
Yeah, he very improved his shot. That's the most impressive.
Absolutely. Now you have a bunch of family members here because Calle Järnkrok for the Nashville Predators is his cousin. So talk about their relationship.
Yeah, they are very close, and they have played together and practiced together, and they grew up together, and they played street hockey and everything. So I think Calle is the guy he look up to most of the players.
Great. Thanks for taking the time to do this. Have a great time.
Thank you.
John and Trip, back to you.
And Elias Lindholm on cue attempts to get it out and does. Andre Sekera over the line with Yuri Tlusty. It deflects wide.
Now see the Bruce Willis reference I've been talking about with Michael Lindholm.
Eric Stahl's shot denied by Pekka Rinne. But the best part about that, the person, Elias Lindholm, that is the most important thing for a parent. You can forget the game.
Yeah, you bet. And you know what? This guy right here, Michael Lindholm, was an excellent, excellent player for the LA Kings. And Jill's brother is, Elias says, some people call him Tony, some people call him Toner. Well, it's his uncle, and that's Järnkrok's father. So it's Jill's brother. That's the connection. That's how they're cousins.
Is it Tony or Tona?
We went back and forth. I said, there isn't anybody in Sweden named Tony.
Know,
maybe in Italy, but not Sweden.
Okay.
But he said some people call him Tona, some people call him Tony.
I like Tony. Tony from Sweden. Imagine that. Get that in a call-in show. Come again. Now, Järnkrok on cue. Calle Järnkrok, the cousin, broke it up. Our version of the Swedish All in the Family. Now it's turned out Cam Ward off the stick of Colin Wilson. It's from a hockey family. Greg Smith that goes astray. Ryan Ellis for Nashville, top of your screen. Colin Wilson cuts off the stick of Jordan. Friedel corner. Getting to it, Andre Nastrashel. And the Hurricanes attempt a breakout.
And about his release that's really come of age, Elias really told me that Cam Ward saying publicly that Lindholm's release is as good as there is on the Hurricanes team early in training camp this year, gave him a boatload of confidence. He said that compliment from Cam really helped him shoot the puck more comfortably.
That's right. Four-man scrum ensues. You see it there. Very few shots on goal tonight. Close checking hockey. One goal scored late by Carolina in period one. Off the stick of Jeff Skinner, a one-hander. A redirect of a beautiful pass from Andre Nastrashel. Rejected at the Carolina line by Tim Gleason, but Olli Jokinen gets it back. He'll slide it in.
Boy, the Hurricanes, since the first about 10 minutes, again, have been very good in the neutral zone, like they were in Pittsburgh Friday, their best neutral zone night of the year.
Puck is dumped in. Pekka Rinne now will play it, reversing for Seth Jones. John Michael Lyles anticipates, sets up Pat Dwyer. Dwyer to the outside. Out of the reach of Jones. Played this way by Zach Boychuk. Boychuk along the boards. Tied up by Seth Jones. Moved off the wall by Olli Jokinen, and you see it come all the way back in Carolina ice.
That man, John Michael Lyles, has had a heck of a game. Helps to set up the goal. There pinches down and finds Patrick Dwyer, who is the high forward.
John Michael Lyles headmans the puck for Riley Nash. It's a 4-on-2 if they hurry. Nash across it goes. Gerby! Shut down by Pekka Rinne. Out of the corner, it's loose now. This way. Hard-pressed. Trying to move it out that time was Anton Volchenkov. Paul Gostad. Former teammate Nathan Gerby on him. Alex Semin for Carolina. Play read nicely that time as it's dumped out of the zone by Seth Jones and cleared in here by Eric Nystrom.
Yeah, I mean, it's a heck of a play if it works out, but with the way the game's going, where Carolina's managing the puck well, you have to be careful with any turnovers right inside the offensive blue line.
Taylor Beck for the Predators. A lead feed intended for Eric Nystrom, another hockey family. To the outside. The son of the legendary Bobby Nystrom of the New York Islanders out of the corner. Nystrom in control. Ron Hainsey is on him, back to the point. Weber, Roman Josi, his shot off a body. It went off Riley Nash, and the Hurricanes will wheel out. Alex Semin floats it across for Ron Hainsey, who sends it in.
Careful here. These line change, long change in the second period. The Canes hit the ice with a purpose.
And that's been an issue for the Hurricanes as the Predators are offside, getting caught in terms of changes, and they're working on that. Elias Lindholm and the Hurricanes have a 1-goal lead.
I'm forward Jeff Skinner, and you're watching Hurricanes hockey on Fox Sports Carolinas.
Thank you, Jeffrey. He has the game's only goal tonight, and as we pointed out in the Open Tonight trip, he has some magic against this team.
Yeah, he does. And, I'm not sure if that factored in. Who knows? Maybe we'll talk to Jeff after this period and ask him. But what I do know is he had the best chances of anybody here on Saturday night against Pittsburgh. And I said, Jeff, what did you think about your chances? He said, well, I certainly had enough to get one.
Yuri Talusti camped out away from Roman Josi. Oh, the stick was lifted of Elias Lindholm. Nice little play by Mike Ribeiro, and they get it out.
He's played well, Ribeiro.
Philip Forsberg, his shot turned out with a purpose by Cam Ward and directly out of play. Experience the excitement of Canes hockey with a new 5-game flex pack starting at just $125. Choose from 8 key matchups ranging from January to March. Receive a $25 gift card to the iStore. With each planned purchase, call 866-NHL-CANES. Log on to CarolinaHurricanes.com/tickets for more details and to secure your seats right now.
The key for Skinner after having those chances on Saturday is some players move in the right direction after getting frustrated like that, and then eventually they're rewarded, and some start to cheat. Fortunately, he goes back to the front of the net and scores the only goal in the game.
Predators get it deep. The line centered by Kelly Järnkrok is on the ice right now, posed by Carolina's group. Centered by Victor Rask. With Andre Nestrashel, Jeff Skinner a steal. Here he comes. Skinner negated on the way through. Järnkrok got back on him. Now Tim Gleason will go deep. Victor Rask and Baccabrine off of him, accepted by Ryan Ellis, a steal. Victor Rask now to the outside. His pass detected, choked off a bit by Nestrashel. And getting to it here is Craig Smith. A little dump and chase as he gets it deep.
Good reverse there from Lyles. Victor Rask, he may not talk that much in our interviews, but there he must have called for that reverse beautifully.
He has the correct language on the pond. There's no doubt about it. Lyles has played well tonight. John Michael Lyles elevates the puck. It bounces in, a tough one for Seth Jones. He's pestered by Patrick Dwyer. Dwyer to the corner. Jones is on him. Matt Cullen in support. Out of the scrum, it's Boychuk. Hammered by McClement. Rini got a piece of it. Now it's played by Mikhail Jordan. Inside it goes. Pekka Rinne getting a piece of that shot taken by Jay McClement as it pops out.
Well, Carolina has gotten a couple of good chances. Some good cycling shifts from their fourth line. No penalties in this game. The Hurricanes have been able to roll 4, as have the Preds.
Predators over the line in the person of Mike Fisher. Now Matt Cullen in back of the goal. Checked by Jordan. Left along the boards. Out of that scrum, McClement with Olli Jokinen. Jokinen along the boards grinding. Hainsey on him. Now Matt Cullen. It's a rolling puck. He'll settle it down. Looking for Olli Jokinen. Nice read by Jay McClement. And the Hurricanes now dump it out. Matthias Ekholm feeds it back.
We've got some tired bodies on the ice now with the long second period change further to the bench, and now they're hemmed in. So this is key to advance the puck and get off.
Tight defensive game here at PNC Arena. Second game of a 5-game homestand for the Hurricanes, and these points are vital. Ekholm out of the corner. Lays it along for Ryan Ellis. Ellis now out of the stick and off the stick of Philip Forsberg. He's hampered a bit by Semin. Forsberg back in his own zone. Ekholm will circle away from Semin. Now it's played here by Ryan Ellis. Ellis out to center. Semin lost his stick. Now he has it back. Ellis in the zone. Pulls up. Out in front. James Neal. Ward says no a couple of times as they hack and whack. And it kicks out. And all the way back out to neutral ice.
Well, Ellis makes that whole play really out of nothing, wearing number 4 on the defense.
James Neal to the outside. Mike Ribeiro looking for Neal. Broken up by Justin Falk. Riley Nash along the wall and out. Stolen by Shea Weber. Roman Josi Lead feed, James Neal by him. Good look at Andre Sekera. In the corner now, Justin Falk. A stretch pass detected by Ribeiro, gained by Lindholm. He's in. He'll delay his shot. Turned out by Rinne. Good shot taken by Elias Lindholm.
That tells you how deceptive his release is. Rinne had to use every bit of his frame to get it.
Chopped at by Lindholm. Gained by Talusti. Leading Carolina with 10 goals. On a cycle, Eric Stahl. Turning stick of Elias Lindholm. Flushed out a bit. It's loose. Lyles is there. Off a body, off Beck. Lindholm. Stahl. What a stop by Rinne. Pekka Rinne, his best. Now Lindholm. Interrupted on the way through. Tim Gleason hinges. He'll get it deep.
Good reload from Lindholm. That's a perfect example. Good defensive posture, can turn right into offense and nearly a goal.
Now Taylor Beck. Denied by Jiri Talusti. He hails a cab as they change on the fly. Good look at Roman Josi. Center zone carried in now by Colin Wilson. He throws on the brakes. Wilson lays it along. They turn with it. It's Craig Smith looking for Wilson again. Nice back check by Rask, but it's broken up. Smith in control. Craig Smith for Nashville to the point. Anton Volchenkov. Blocker down with a purpose by Ward. Along the wall, Smith. Carried out here by Jeff Skinner. Skinner in control. It's taken down. Play will continue. Nestrashel on Yarncroke. Now it's played by Rask. Andre Nestrashel has Skinner in the slot. He's derailed a bit by Seth Jones. Jones on Nestrashel. Kelly Yarncroke in control. Away for Colin Wilson. Broken up. Yarncroke had it, lost it. Skinner. Good play at the defense. That time by Volchenkov. Skinner again. Off the body. Volchenkov going down. And it goes out of play. The Hurricanes are active on the forecheck. And it shows tonight. Cam Ward active in the blue. Coming up big. And how about his opposite number? Pekka Rinne. Late stages of period 2. Not a lot of shots tonight, but the goaltending has been spectacular.
Yes, it has. They have both done their part. They're both playing extremely confident hockey coming off of excellent months in November. Pekka Rinne, I think, would win the Vezina Trophy right now if it were awarded. Cam Ward, when you look at the quality of chances he faced, consistently gave Carolina a chance in November.
With 7 wins as opposed to 5 losses, but his goals against average 2.01 in November. Carolina on the wrong side of many one-goal games, especially lately. But the goaltending has been strong. Now it's popped all the way back. 3:22 left in the second period. John Trippin, Chantel with you as always. It's bounced all the way back in the Nashville zone. Icing against Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I don't even know if those numbers really do his work justice and how consistent he was, how few soft goals he gave up. You know, because the Hurricanes, I think, are still a work in progress. They're getting better, and they have been really solid as this game has gone along defensively. But there are a lot of nights in November where they give up some real good quality chances, and he answered the bell.
Pekka Rinne, 10-1 in November. It's easily caught here by Cam Ward. His goals against in the month of November, 1.70.
And early in this game, both of these goaltenders don't get lost in the way they handled the puck, especially early. I mean, when you feel good about handling the puck, remember the play we telestrated between periods where Cam nicely reversed it to his defenseman, and it led to a good chance at the other end. That makes you feel more confident about your entire game. Rinne came out early, played a puck. It's important.
Each goalie had relatively the same save percentage in November. Rinne, 9.38. Cam Ward, 9.30. Out to center ice, Josi. It's touched up here, offside. 17 minutes gone in the second period.
Well, I like the way the Hurricanes have settled into this game, and, you know, they haven't tried to do too much. I think a few minutes ago, their line changes got a little bit loose. And this is right getting into the territory. Remember, it was a late first period goal with a tough line change for Nashville. That gets magnified with the second period change, so important here.
Shea Weber off the blocker of Cam Ward. Tim Gleason now hampered by Kelly Yarncroke. Elias Lindholm for the Hurricanes will scale it back. Roman Josi paired on defense with Shea Weber. Colin Wilson, former first-round pick, broken up by Tim Gleason. Gleason now will cradle along for John Michael Lyles. Through the center zone, a chip by Lindholm in on Rinne. Pekka Rinne now right up the gut, out to center. Good pass for Colin Wilson. They attempt to get it behind the Carolina defense. John Michael Lyles for Tim Gleason. Underneath and out. Boychuk, a stretch pass. Here's Stahl. Eric Stahl throws on the brakes. Drops it off to Boychuk. His shot caught by Pekka Rinne.
John, remember the first period we talked about practice yesterday in the defensive zone coverage. The weak side winger has to make sure he does not leave this weak side defenseman. And Strasser, you can just see, he wants to chase because the F3, that's the F3 right there coming back. That's led to a couple of really costly goals for Carolina. The weak side winger going to that high forward. No, stay with that weak side defenseman. Strasser did it.
McClement along with Boychuk and Dwyer for Bill Peters. Off the faceoff, the Predators get it out. Here's Nystrom. Little dump and chase here. Good look at Taylor back out of the corner. Back now, tied up by Hainsey. Pinching in Matthias Ekholm. It's a bouncing puck. Hainsey takes a swat at it. Nikol Jordan. Jordan crunched by Gaustad. McClement in support for Carolina. They move it out. Patrick Dwyer elevates it. Knocked out of midair that time by Ryan Ellis, who fields it again. He'll play it along the wall and out.
Sometimes being big, being physical is taking a hit to make a play, and that's what Jordan did there. And because of it, Carolina gets the puck out with ease, and there he just barely wins that hybrid icing situation where when you get to the dot, the linesman decides who has the best chance at playing the puck first, and Jordan just got there. That's conditioning. That's physicality. Good shift.
Bill Peters said today we want to be able to move the puck efficiently, and so far in a small sample, he's been able to do that.
Yeah, and with composure too.
Yeah.
If you know, like a quarterback, if that first receiver is covered, he'll buy time. You know, like a quarterback does in the pocket, and eventually makes a good pass.
It's becoming one of the biggest attributes of defensemen nowadays is how well you move the puck. It used to be how well you block a shot, how strong you are, how tough you are. That's important too, but really you have to have good puck skills and move it.
You are a dinosaur if you can't move the puck in this day and age. You won't play in the league.
Sekera with a shot blocked by Gaustad. It's loose. Jeff Skinner hampered by Matthias Ekholm. Skinner stays with it. Stolen by Nashville's Eric Nystrom, and away they go. Back broken up. Good force by Andrej Sekera in the center zone. And that's where the Carolina D can be active. Here's Skinner, shouldered by Cullen. Ekholm, the Beck. Taylor Beck, broken up by Justin Falk. Under a minute left in the second period, 1-0 Carolina. Andre Strasser over the line, moves up. Strasser now holding on to it, flushed out by Olli Jokinen. They go to the corner. Young Czech keeps it to the outside. Andre Strasser for Skinner. Paddle down Rinne. He wins the battle. He locates the puck. No further play, and a little bit of a disturbance here.
Skinner's showing less and less fear. He did in the neutral zone there. He felt Cullen was coming. Not that former Hurricane Matt Cullen is known for mid-ice hits. But, you know, Jeff has to make sure to protect himself because there have been stretches in his career where you say, if he keeps playing recklessly like this, he's going to get nailed again. And I see progression in him feeling the hit coming, not making himself vulnerable. In the last couple of games, we've seen a fearless nature going to the front of the net, which any goal scorer needs to be successful.
Stahl, Semin, and Gerby now for Bill Peters. Kelly Yarncroke is out for Peter Laviolette to take this face-off with 41 seconds left in the second period. Young Swede wins it back. Shea Weber, 2 checkers on him. Craig Smith, Eric Stahl comes across. Good play by Stahl. Semin given a shove by Shea Weber. 29 seconds left in the period. Out of the scrum, Stahl stood up by Yarncroke. Gerby, it goes high. A possible tip by Roman Josi. Now Nathan Gerby cuts across for Carolina. Eric Stahl in back of the goal. Given a rough ride by Weber. He centers, picked off by Craig Smith. 10 seconds left in the period. Here they come at the line. Nashville. Yarncroke broken up. 4 seconds. Nathan Gerby with Stahl. His shot cut off by Rinne and dumped out by Shea Weber at the horn.
Now Nathan Gerby is telling Eric Stahl that he didn't think he had time to get him the puck, and Eric seems to understand. It was a heck of a play from Gerby coming underneath right here. Does he look up and look at the clock? He knows Eric's there. I think he had a couple more seconds than he thought. You'll never be critical of a guy for taking a shot when literally the clock is about to run out. He might have had time to make a pass either way. That's just hard A to B hockey. Work with the turnover and forcing Rene to be accountable.
Jeff Skinner has the game's only goal, and he will be Trip Tracy's guest when we start the PNC Bank second intermission. NHL scores and highlights will also come your way. It's a grinding, defensive, close-checking, tough game tonight. It's the Carolina Hurricanes 1 and the Nashville Predators no score on Fox Sports Carolinas. Jeff Skinner has the goal, and the Hurricanes get ready for the third period. Chantel McCabe standing by with Rod Brindamore.
Coach, a focus you wanted to have is playing with the lead in this tight checking game. What's the most critical part when you're doing that?
Well, it's to play the same way, and definitely don't think you're in the lead. I think go get the next one. You know, we sit back. That's not a recipe for success. So we had to go keep playing the way we're playing and go get that next goal.
Thanks.
Okay.
No penalties have been called tonight in this game. Nashville has the fewest penalties of any team taken this year in the NHL. Carolina, the third fewest, and it's played out that way. Shots 19-18 favoring Carolina. And again, Jeff Skinner's goal late in period one. That's been it. John Forslund, Trip Tracy, Chantel McCabe along with our fine crew here at PNC Arena. James Neal of Nashville to an open corner. Philip Forsberg back to the point. They work it across for Shea Weber. And the high slotted chip knocked down by Justin Falk. James Neal, good active stick by Cam Ward ahead of Mike Ribeiro. Neal in the corner nullified by Eric Stahl, and the Hurricanes get it out.
Good coverage there from Sekera up high.
Puck kicks around. It's carried out by the Predators' Roman Josi. He'll negotiate over the line. Ribeiro on the wall, pulls up, lays it back, hammered by Ellis wide. The rebound, a good stick check. That was Jeff Skinner on Colin Wilson, and away they go. Victor Rask with a shot. He scores! How about that? Victor Rask on the short side of Pecorine. 2-0 Carolina.
This puck knuckled. Watch the play Skinner makes. Up the ice. There goes Rask. Hey, the only bad shot's the one not taken. I don't know if that grazes. Does it graze the stick of Roman Josi and start going end over end? That's what it did. Still, Pecorine won't like it, but I can tell you, when you see the trajectory of the puck coming flat and then it starts going end over end and wobbles, it's tough. And that was a key part of it. What a play from Skinner.
Great defensive play by Jeff Skinner. Both ends of the rink. Victor Rask gets the goals. The Hurricanes keep it ahead. And now they have a 2-goal cushion as it rolls in wide of Cam Ward. Icing is called here against Nashville. We'll see the goal one more time.
Well, it started with Ellis coming off the bench and just missing for Nashville. I mean, just missing. And it's just a good tape-to-tape pass coming up the ice. I mean, that's a pretty routine pass, but Jeff Skinner, in now a significant stretch of games, has not just been a shooter. He's had the ability to move the puck, which is not something he's been able to do in his career with consistency. I hope this is a very promising sign because it makes him more dangerous.
2 points tonight for Jeff Skinner. Tim Gleason in the skates of Riley Nash. Alexander Semin for the Hurricanes, stolen by Matt Cullen. They start again. Here's Seth Jones. Jones elects to go deep. Along the boards, all the way around for Cullen. Cullen shadowed on the play that time by John Michael Lyles. It pops out in front. Fanned on by Mike Fisher. Off the pad of Ward from Olli Jokinen. Back up top. Volchenkov hammers one. Trickling wide on a tip. Getting to it is Matt Cullen. Cullen in back of the goal. Off the back side of the cage. Forked out in front. Stolen by Nathan Gerbe. Here he comes. Sidestepping a big hit. Thrown at him by Mike Fisher. And a penalty will be called.
Hockey is a game of stopping and starting if you're really conditioned to work. And Nathan Gerbe stops and starts. And that's what puts Fisher in a spot where he has to trip with his lower body. And that's the first penalty of the game, believe it or not. Fisher who kills penalties, so that could be a double whammy.
Carolina number 8 in the power play, number 7 at home. Nashville on the kill, number 24, number 25 on the road. Fisher for tripping. 2:09, Skinner in control. Off the driftwood, that broken stick. Off the glass and back out. Comes all the way back in the zone, and Eric Stahl has a new one.
What a tough break that is. Catches the lower portion of Eric Stahl's broken stick. Luckily, Stahl got a new one. They could play defensively.
Here's Tulowitzki over the line. They gain entry. Skinner drops it back. And it's punched out by Eric Nystrom. Justin Falk will man 1 point. Mikhail Jordan will be on the other side. Tulowitzki. Give and go with Falk. A good look at him. Around the boards it goes for Stahl. Eric Stahl in the corner. Out in front, negated by Roman Josi. Olli Jokinen all the way back. They kill time. Jordan deep in his own zone, and now Justin Falk. With 3 minutes gone in this third period.
Bill Peters told you in your sit-down in our pregame show, Mikhail Jordan, they're going to see if he can play. He's looked quite comfortable on this power play unit in just about every game he's played.
It's grown with every game trip, and now Kelly Yarncroke will attempt to get it out. Choked off by Falk. Jockey along the boards. It pops off of Yarncroke and back out.
Jordan deserves this. He had a good preseason. Could have made the team out of training camp. I think it was more contractual than anything else. He went down and kept moving forward, waiting for his opportunity.
Matt Cullen shorthanded away from Justin Falk. In the zone. Maybe a chance. His shot turned out nicely by Cam Ward.
Yeah, Cam might have gone to school on what Cullen used to do in practice there to anticipate that shot.
Predators have not scored a shorthanded goal this season. That eludes Rinne, played here by Nystrom. Anton Volchenkov off the boards and out. You see the time left in the power play. In the zone, Sekera. Brought along by Pat Dwyer. And now again Volchenkov. Jeff Skinner. Victor Rask have scored tonight for the Hurricanes, who have a 2-0 lead. Ron Hainsey. Out to center, the final push. A spring pass intended for Zach Boychuk. Good stick by Rinne. Out of the corner now. Nashville in control. Wristed by Seth Jones all the way out for Mike Fisher out of the box. He threads it across. Good stick by Sekera. Craig Smith for the Predators. Holding on to it inside for Colin Wilson. Wilson grinding to the outside. Stopping and starting. Off the stick of Patrick Dwyer. Roman Josi, top of your screen. Hampered by Carolina's Jiri Tulowitzki, and they get it out. Carolina did not have a shot with the power play. Roman Josi moves by Hainsey. From the corner, he throws on the brakes. He'll trade places with Wilson. Weber at the point. Wristing one ahead. High slot Fisher. Good block by Lyles. Another chance. Stopped by Ward. That from well out. Craig Smith. And now the Hurricanes will attempt to move forward.
That man, John Michael Lyles, has had a very, very solid night at both ends of the ice.
Rolling puck. James Neal off the stick of Lyles. It goes high. Forsberg overskated. Gleason is on him. Lyles in tight quarters sets up to Tulowitzki, who's hampered on the way out by Neal, but he feeds it ahead, and Carolina can get a change.
And they avoid icing because Lindholm is able to just get a piece of that with his swipe.
The Predators now go deep. Falk looks around. He'll leave it there for Alexander Semin, a reverse. It jumps the stick of Sekera. Ryan Ellis tipped wide by Mike Ribeiro. Getting to it is Alex Semin, a stretch pass. Oh my. Gerby was long gone. Good read on the way out that time by Ekholm. In the center zone now, they turn with it. In control, play comes to a halt as it was gloved ahead, I believe, with 14-18 left to go in this third period.
Well, John, I think the key right here is right here. Even or better, 5-on-5, and I'll tell you why. Carolina on Saturday had a really good-looking power play, but their 5-on-5 was not intimidating at all. Both goaltenders have been good. Cam's been better than Rinne. The four young Swedes have had their moments, but I would gladly, in the big picture, take a solid, systematically sound, even strength game than a power play that you have to live and breathe and get your, goal-scoring production from, because you are more of a one-trick pony when that's the case. When you have even strength play, you can win in a bunch of different ways.
That's right, and Bill Peters talks about getting better every day, and he told us in Hurricanes Live that's still a challenge, but tonight, so far, so good in that regard. Jordan coming back in his own zone, elevates the puck, takes a bit of a hit from Fisher. It pops all the way back, as we see, in the Nashville zone. This is Seth Jones. He'll wind it up on the wall, on and off the stick of Jokinen. And it's snapped ahead that time by Volchenkov. Mike Fisher locates the puck away from Semin. Feeds it ahead. Mikhail Jordan elevates it by Cullen. Center zone for Semin in the skates of Gerby. Now the Predators start back. Fished along by Olli Jokinen. Victor Rask moving ahead of Matt Cullen. In his own zone, John Michael Lyles all the way back in Nashville territory. Now they hinge. Here's Shea Weber to an open corner. Gleason is back. Colin Wilson is on him. It's punched all the way around. Shea Weber up on the play. Weber for Jarnkrok in back of the goal. Kelly Jarnkrok on the outside for Colin Wilson. Around the kick plate now. Lyles attempts to hunt it down. A force by Weber. Skinner's on him. Craig Smith now with a stutter step. He goes to work. Craig Smith holding onto it to the outside. Moving up from the D now. They try to make it happen. They wind it up top here with Roman Josi. Play read by Victor Rask. Rask tries to get it out. Colin Wilson out in front. Good stick that time by Nastrachel. Weber's bid tipped wide. That was Rask getting a stick to it. Lucent back of the goal. They fight for it. Victor Rask in control. He has time and space, and the Hurricanes will float it out. Victor Rask off the scoreboard. The infield fly rule was in effect. 12:45 left to go in the third period. 2-0 Carolina.
Carolina Hurricanes hockey is brought to you by North Carolina Education Lottery. All or Nothing is the exciting new draw game from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Match all or match none and win the top prize of $250,000. Either way wins. By Raleigh Orthopedic. Go where the pros go. Raleigh Orthopedic. And by Golden Corral. Introducing the biggest and best dinner buffet ever for just $11.99. It's over 150 delicious choices only at Golden Corral.
Back here in the capital city, play underway. 12:40 left to go in this third period. 2-0 Carolina. John Tripp and Chantel with you as always. Washington's here Thursday night. It starts with Hurricanes live at 6:30. Detroit on Sunday, New Jersey Monday. A penalty on the way out. Rinne makes the save. With Toulouse on the doorstep, Nashville will go down a man again as Eric Stahl was hooked.
Yeah, he just outworked Mike Ribeiro. Actually, they had started their situation in the face-off circle right there in the middle. That's just a lazy penalty. And it's been a good year for Mike Ribeiro. Playing on the top line with Forsberg and James Neal for Peter Laviolette. And I think that sort of represents... What's that picture behind the glass?
What was that?
I don't know. There have been some beauties. There was a great one of Bill Peters
that
one night.
That was a great shot. I wanted that from one of my rooms at home.
Which room?
The man cave. Yeah, of course. 7:38 left, or gone in the period, and Ribeiro's gone for hooking. Carolina with their second power play. Carried along now by Justin Falk. He'll dump it in. Pekka Rinne will move it. Out of the corner. Nash had it, lost it. Nystrom in tight quarters. Here's a chance. Off the side of the goal. Riley Nash. Elias Lindholm. They'll right the ship. Move it deep for Nash. Trading places with him. To the point. Rask. Across for Falk. In the skates of Nystrom. He goes down. Gerby locates the puck. Sends it back for Justin Falk. In the ring, it's Riley Nash. Gerby, miss hit. He had a chance on the weak side. Shea Weber clears it out.
Very similar to Gerby's chance in the second period. I would guarantee you he'll probably be at practice working before with Rod Brindamore on low one-timers, getting that knee on the ground, because he doesn't misfire like he has in a couple of these tonight.
He's first skater out on most days. After the goaltenders come out early, now it's wristed all the way back out. Just about 9 minutes gone in this third period. John Michael Lyles back to get it. Mikhail Jordan in his own zone.
I think John Michael Lyles has had his best game of the year, bar none.
I agree. Lyles now will scoop it ahead. Along the dasher and down, Volchenkov hammers one. It eludes everybody. And all the way down to Cam Ward.
Hey, you and I agree. Before I know it, you're going to be asking me to come over to your man cave you've been talking about.
Just to see the photo. Now Lyles back out. You got to get that. Now it comes all the way back in. To the corner. Brian Ellis hard pressed by Yuri Tuluski. It pops back. Knocked down by Lyles. On the flank now. Skinner throws on the brakes. Inside it goes. They walk it out in front off Stahl. Good stop. Rinne. The backhander shut down by Pekka Rinne. Should the Canes score on the power play tonight, Caniacs who say the winning phrase receive a free Bowberry biscuit from participating Bojangles restaurants tomorrow morning. Bojangles. It's bow time.
Much better looking power play than the first one. This is the second one, and both units have had a sniff. Look at this save here from Rinne. Yeah, there was a little frustration. That was, I'm very frustrated about Victor Rask early in this period with the way he snared that.
Zach Boychuk back for Andrej Sekera walking the line. Boychuk turns, wristing one. Off the body, off McClement. Another front fork wide. Good opportunity that time right out in front for Patrick Dwyer. Play comes to a halt as the net is off the pegs. Today's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network broadcasting, and to the U.S. Armed Forces serving 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. Welcome and thank you.
Boy, a lot of different time zones watching Patrick Dwyer. They're nearly cashing on the back door. Our true heroes around the world tuning in.
Off the face-off, Roman Josi back out. Over the line, he shovels for Forsberg, gets it back out in front. Good stick, Sekera. Shea Weber. Weber down the wall. Inside it goes. James Neal to the outside of Justin Falk. They'll stay with it. Move it along for Forsberg. Negated. Good coverage by Carolina. Out they come. Zach Boychuk feeds it deep. Boychuk gets after it himself. Roman Josi is on him. 9:45 left to go in this third period. Out of the scrum. They continue to scrum for it. It's popped along by James Neal. Mike Ribeiro in his own territory starts again.
Sharpest defensive effort, I think, of the year. I mean, Pittsburgh was pretty good, but this has been tenacious.
Now Ribeiro, 3 defenders on him. Philip Forsberg to the outside of Gleason. Gleason defends it, keeps him to the outside. Neal with a shot blocked. Good tie-up by Semin. It comes back out. Seth Jones is on it.
With Neal's shot, I mean, if you give him even an extra split second, usually he would get that through. He hasn't been sharp, but still the coverage is right there. If he fumbles it, he doesn't get it through.
Nashville will go home. They play St. Louis on Thursday night. And there were reports today that Marty Brodeur, the new St. Louis goaltender, will play in that game. Strauchel in control. Moves it along. Nashville gets back. They're down by 2 with 8:50 left in regulation time. A steal. Nash for Jordan by him, and now he's pressured by Craig Smith. It's laid across for Justin Falk.
I'm sure the Armed Forces Network people tuning in around the world are still getting used to you saying Marty Brodeur and the St. Louis Blues.
Mostar icing is called here, and Victor Rask. Let's talk about his body of work tonight.
Well, he's been, I think, complete. Here jumping in and protecting the puck, just missing it. Well, Rene making a heck of a save. You know, here took a pass from Skinner for an insurance tally here. Went end over end off of Josi's stick and, you know, playing the point of the power play very comfortably, keeping that puck in.
Ryan Ellis with a shot wide of Cam Ward. Off the boards, Riley Nash. They'll take a hit. He took a stiff one from Mike Fisher, and it comes back. You see the shots. Carolina by 1 where it counts. They're up by 2. Game 2 of a 5-game homestand. Nashville now will start deep in their own zone. Ellis quarterbacks away for Fisher. Chipped along by Matt Cullen. Cam Ward has to wait in the trapezoid. Now he'll move it for Jay McClement. Skate to stick. Deep in his own zone, they start over.
He continues, Cam Ward, to handle the puck. Not just a little bit better, eons better than he has in years past. And you see him working on it at the beginning of every practice. And more, he batted that puck out of midair there.
Yeah, they do it with David Marcoux for a long time before every practice, a good 20 minutes before everybody else comes out, and that's every day, as Tripp said. Gerby's shot patted down by Pekka Rinne, played here by Mike Ribeiro, and they start again. Out to center, you're looking at Philip Forsberg. Moving on Justin Falk, who plays it, keeps him to the outside. Good job again by Falk on Forsberg. Now it goes deep. Ribeiro given a shove by Tim Gleason. Mike Ribeiro along the boards. Gleason ties him up. You see it up close. Ribeiro grinding. Gleason continues to work him over. And now it pops out of the stick of Nathan Gerby. And out they come, 3-on-2. 2-on-2 because McClement is changing. Gerby pulls up, easily detected by Pekka Rinne.
Gleason didn't have that tough to play against in him, you know, before he went to Toronto last year. He did there on Ribeiro, no doubt about it.
Now it's Eric Stahl moving up to the outside. Stahl with a shot off the stick of Weber wide. Jordan inside again for Stahl. Stahl defended by Weber. Eric Stahl grinding along the wall. It pops out to Roman Josi. On the flank, Ribeiro cutting back in his own zone. 6:37 left in regulation time as the Predators start forward.
Another sharp line change for Carolina. So much better for the most part. There have been a couple exceptions to it. For the most part, very, very sharp. Much sharper than Saturday.
Dead center, Craig Smith over the line. His shot sealed off. No rebound given up by Cam Ward. 6:22 left to go in this third period. Carolina by a deuce. Welcome back. A nice look at Eric Staal. Tonight's Geico quote, an update on his brother Jordan. Now with that injury, and it's from Bill Peters, he's going to start training with our people off the ice. From there, if everything goes well, it depends on the amount of swelling and the recovery from workout to workout, day to day. He'll progress to skating on his own with Pete Friesen, and then he'll join us from that point.
Well, it's a ways away. As I think they said today, somewhere they would, if they had to guess, and it's a moving target, 1 to 2 months. But you have Victor Rask, Riley Nash playing the way they are, Eric Staal. You would think maybe one of the Stahls would move to the wing, but again, that's so premature because Rask has truly taken advantage of such an untimely injury to show that he has a bright future.
Just good to get his name into a broadcast and see him around the fellas on Saturday. At the optional skate before the Pittsburgh game, Roman Josi now in control, and he'll move it deep.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan, I know that he hasn't felt sorry for himself.
Craig Smith sneaks in for a chance, wide of Cam Ward, who had the angle. Shea Weber at the point. Roman Josi goes wide. Here it comes, a tip. It's loose. Broken up. Carried out by Jeff Skinner with 2 points tonight. A goal and an assist. It's in on Pecorine.
And there Skinner could have pressed, could have cheated. Knows right now, no. Get it deep and get off in good neutral zone positioning again.
Coors Light. Cold hard facts. We'll take a look here at some face-off percentage numbers. Late in this third period. Here we go. Face-off winning percentage right now. Carolina ranked 4th coming in. Montreal leads the league. Detroit, St. Louis, and the Arizona Coyotes are right there.
And 2 righties here. Nash against the veteran Mike Fisher. Fisher started the year on the shelf, an off-season Achilles injury.
Mikhail Jordan moves it by Hainsey. Ryan Ellis anticipating for Nashville over the stick of Fisher. These two teams will meet in Music City on January 6th for the final time. It comes all the way back. Icing is called here against Carolina.
John, are you enjoying the Twitter box? I liked it. In fact, we were talking about Nash in the first period. Let's watch him. Stop it right here, guys. Watch him come in here to help Semin. All right? This is why the Hurricanes are getting pucks out. Beautiful. Semin kicks it right to Riley. Off you go. Nice little indirect.
Off the draw, Shea Weber wide of the target. Mike Ribeiro, James Neal fought off by Ward. Ribeiro in control. Ward says no, and he hangs on. 4:57 left in regulation time. Cam Ward getting it done. We're going down the stretch here in Raleigh. Our next telecast is Thursday night. Alex Ovechkin, Nicholas Backstrom, and the Washington Capitals are here.
Oh, that'll be a fun divisional game. Washington in action against Vancouver tonight. I'm surprised Ribeiro is taking this face-off, not Forsberg. Forsberg's the intended target.
It'll start with Hurricanes live at 6:30. It trickles in on Cam Ward. Washington losing late in the third period at home tonight to Vancouver, 4-3.
See, the reason Ribeiro is a left shot, Forsberg's a right shot, and it's tough to create any leverage with the top of that stick. You have to get it away from the linesman. Forsberg would be better equipped.
Ribeiro all alone. He scores. They get a break. It goes right to Mike Ribeiro, and they cut the lead in half.
And this might fall into the category of a bit of a freebie, as clean as Carolina has been. Falk has the puck on his stick. Lindholm isn't able to get the puck out, and everybody flies the zone, I think, thinking it was on its way out. You know that replay we just showed where you saw Nash coming underneath to help Semin? That's what the Hurricanes didn't have there. And Ribeiro, you're down 2-0. You might as well take a chance, but Number one, that should have been more cleanly executed. Justin Falk could have just skated, I think, with it, John, instead of rimming it. But then Sekera and Falk, they both flew the zone. Should have known where Ribeiro was.
4:34 left in regulation time. 1-goal game now. Gleason taps it ahead. The Predators in control. Shea Weber, D to D. Roman Josi. Josi gets the only assist on Ribeiro's 7th goal of the season at 15-14. Through the center zone, Nashville on the attack. Josi, Jarnkrok, and now Craig Smith. When we get by Lyles, it goes high in the air as we see. Andre Nastrasha with Colin Wilson on him. A keep by Craig Smith. It's loose. Tipped along by Shea Weber. And finally poked out of the zone. The combination of Andre Nastrasha and Victor Rask. Nashville now will feed it all the way back in the Carolina zone. This is icing. 3:49 left in regulation time.
Well, let's take a look here again at the goal. And Andre Sekera is right here. Okay, that's your first thing. Falk could have skated. And then you also needed Eric Stahl to come underneath and help out for Lindholm. So a bunch of things could have happened. I think much better to get better execution in that situation. The Hurricanes have been much better defensively than that tonight.
Riley Nash wins it back for Mikhail Jordan. It goes deep, loose impact to the goal. Nash poked along by Roman Josi. Here's Alex Semin. Broken up by Shea Weber. Weber ahead. In the center zone they turn. In the person of Craig Smith, who goes off on a line change. He rolls it in. Jordan pressured by Mike Fisher. Hainsey taps it along here, where it's advanced out to center by Riley Nash. Seth Jones along the wall. Jordan for Carolina gives it right back in the Nashville zone, and curling with it is James Neal. Neal in full flight, in on Ward, off the glove. Played here by Ron Hainsey. 3:09 left in regulation time. It goes by the point man, Ryan Ellis, who's tied up by Yuri Tlusty. Forsberg turned it over to Ron Hainsey. Off a stick, held in by Neal. Off the stick of Eric Stahl. Now they go deep. You see it from ice level. Eric Stahl with a calm move, but it's gloved down by Ryan Ellis. He's peppered by Tlusty, and it's punched all the way out.
Yuri, nice job of now staying on the ice to allow a partial change. Now he gets off. He made sure to get that puck out on Ellis.
Now Seth Jones in control. Little chip. Forsberg. Neal with a shot. Stopped by Cam Ward. Moves it back to the goal. Dug out by Neal. Ribeiro at his side to the point man Weber. Shea Weber going wide. Josi. Off a stick. Loose. Camped out. And in control now again is Ribeiro. But it was batted down with a high stick. And the face-off will come outside the line.
James Neal has not been heard of tonight, and he's one of a handful of guys in the league that is a threat from that sharp angle he shot from, and Cam Ward made a nice shoulder save to be as vertical as he possibly could. I mean, this is a trade that's worked out for both teams. He's given Nashville their scoring line, and we saw Hornquist and Spalling helping Pittsburgh the other night.
We'll keep an eye on Pekka Rinne with 2:20 on the clock. Shea Weber gains center. Hard around it goes. Falk at the top of your screen. On and off his stick, Colin Wilson. Ties up Andre Nastrasha. Now Skinner's away. Moving in on Weber. Weber, a good stick on him. Shea Weber a steal. Laying it back for Roman Josi. Josi deep in his own zone. Out to center ice. On the transition, Colin Wilson. At the line, Nastrasha got back. Nashville would have been offside, and now they tag up with $1:50 on the clock. Falk away for Sekera. He'll wind it in. Rinne is directing traffic. Semin top of your screen. Inside for Nash. Fleshed out by Shea Weber. They go to the corner. 1:40 left in regulation time. Now it's dug out by Gerby to the point. Gleason. This way it's Hainsey holding. Shooting one wide. A Pekka Rinne. It careens all the way back in the Kane zone. Philip Forsberg tries to make it happen. Converged on by Gleason and Hainsey. Rinne is on the bench. 6 skaters out for the Predators. Loose in the high slot. Philip Forsberg goes deep. Inside now Ribeiro. He's guarded by Nash. Off the back of the goal. Neal through the blue and out. Ryan Ellis, top of your screen. In deep, the play read by Riley Nash. Nash tries to clear. Cut off by Ryan Ellis, who's knocked down. A penalty against Carolina. Ward said no on Neal. And a second opportunity he has with 60 seconds left. Nashville goes to the power play.
Their first of the night. And they have not had a good power play this year. Let's look at the chance here for Neal. Gets this puck from backhand to the forehand. He can elevate that puck well. He just misses. And then after the fact, Riley Nash guilty of the trip. Let's see if a timeout is called here. And this sets the stage. As our game key, at least our first one was, you look at the tripping motion on the defenseman Ellis jumping way down a goal. With all the tools that they have on two good units, including the cannon of Shea Weber, Nashville's power play has just not gotten on track. They have been better on the road than they have been at home, and the Hurricanes' penalty killing has been quite the story, as you see.
Well, we saw that on the graphic. 18 out of 19. Timeout called here. Steve Smith runs it. Talking to the penalty killers, the goaltender, always your best penalty killer. He'll stretch and get ready. 1 minute on the clock. Riley Nash for tripping at 19 minutes. And as you point out, Nashville, their first power play, they are 27th in the league. Carolina number 12 on the kill.
Well, just don't let his shot beat you, okay? If this Predator power play is going to, now there's 6 of them out here, obviously, with the empty net. But take away that shot from Weber. Make somebody else beat you here, this penalty kill.
Ribeiro and McClement on the draw. Out of the corner and back. Shea Weber holding, shooting one. It goes high, a screecher from number 6. Now, James Neal. Mike Ribeiro holding on to it. Up top, Yossi. Weber hammers one off the side of the goal. Forsberg dug it out. Philip Forsberg looking for Weber. 38 seconds left. Shea Weber in control. Forsberg from the wall. Craig Smith, good stick by Ward. He'll cover.
Now, Cam not only surprises the Nashville player with a stick, but he also gets a much-needed whistle. It's Smith in front. So a key draw to regroup here. Jay McClement. Now we're going to see the timeout called the other way, as Carolina's going to call theirs.
All right, Tripp, while we have time, let's tell a story. How did we get to this point? It starts with Jeff Skinner scoring late in the first period.
A good line change for Carolina, and Estrashal's had another good night. Just buys time and gives Skinner a chance to work his skill on Volchenkov, and then Skinner finds Victor Rask grazes the stick of Roman Yossi's end over end, and then Ribeiro camouflages himself behind the Carolina group of 5 skaters and just beats Cam as Cam went for the poke check. Cam's poke check just got this key whistle, and now this key draw as McClement will look to win his most important face-off of the game against Mike Ribeiro.
That's a lonesome seat for Riley Nash, who's played well tonight. In the box, Ribeiro, McClement, one back. Weber, Yossi, great stop by Ward. Forsberg, 25 seconds left. Smith knocking it down. Forsberg again. Up top for Weber. Arister stopped by Ward. Forsberg, 15 seconds left. Philip Forsberg for Shea Weber. Forsberg again, skate the stick. His shot caught by Cam Ward with 9.3 seconds left.
The rebound control just sterling here late. Cam Ward, I'd say only second fiddle to his stick as he makes a nice blocker save off of the one-timer from Yossi. His glove, only second fiddle to his stick. But Peter Laviolette will not like that screen from Smith off to the side.
Off the draw, the final push. Weber looks around, holding to the outside, hammered by Neal, a block by Sekera. Carolina digs down. They kill it off. They surround Cam Ward. They defeat the Nashville Predators 2-1.
But that highlight doesn't show you the sacrifice that went into winning this hockey game. Sekera with the big block, and then Dwyer at the horn. Cam Ward stood very, very tall as Nashville took over the shot clock, trailing in the third period for 33-25 edge in shots. Boy, you have 3 Nashville players that are camped in front of the net if Andre doesn't make that block. And this was a gutsy win against a team that is leading maybe the most competitive division in the National Hockey League. And Carolina earned it by beating Nashville at their own game. And you know what that is? That's even strength 5-on-5 hockey.
Canes will go over 500 at home at 5-4-1, 8-13-3 on the season. And again, a total team effort. And we saw it over the weekend against Pittsburgh. And we see it again here tonight. So we will have the presentation of the 3 stars, and then we will have the first star with Chantel McCabe momentarily. Third star tonight, Victor Rask scored the second goal. It came early in the third period. A shot that was tipped. Beat Pecorine on the short side. Cam Ward, outstanding. Nothing you could do about the goal. He surrendered here. He was on his way to a shutout. Rock solid coming off that great month of November. And the #1 star with a goal and an assist and a great defensive play to start the sequence which led to the second goal. Jeff Skinner is the first star, and he takes a seat right now next to our very own, if he remembers, which he's reminded kindly, and now here he is with Chantel.
Jeff, a really sound defensive game from everyone on this team, maybe the best of the year so far. How was it executed so well?
Yeah, I think all 4 lines are going. Obviously, the D-men played a great game, and Bordeaux was solid for us. I think getting that big kill at the end was huge.
Yes, Cam Ward in the final minute of play. He had a stellar month of November, but again tonight he shined. What has made him so good?
He's been huge for us. I think just the fact that he's making big saves at big times. You need those big saves, but he's making them at key moments in the game, and it's really helping us out, and we need him to continue being huge for us.
Nashville had 4 wins in a row. You stopped them in their tracks. It's one of the best teams in the NHL right now. How much confidence will this give your team?
Yeah, it's something to build off. I think obviously we got a lot of home games coming up here, and we want to try and get on a little bit of a roll. So this is a good first step.
5-on-5 play was very important tonight since there were only 2 penalties. What made your 5-on-5 play so good?
I think just playing fast. Obviously, that's a quick team over there, and the D-men did a great job getting the pucks through our end and through the neutral zone, and allowed us to spend some time in their end.
Thanks. Congratulations on the win, Jeff.
Thanks.
John, back to you.
Thank you, Chantel. Congratulations to Jeff Skinner and the rest of the crew. What a job tonight. Prepared, ready, tactical, and they got it done against a team that likes to play the same way. The Carolina Hurricanes defeat the Nashville Predators 2-1. Hurricanes Live will come your way next. We have total post-game coverage, including Bill Peters and his press conference and sound from inside the Hurricane locker room. So the Canes on home ice will continue this homestand on a winning note. It's 2-1 over Nashville tonight. Hurricanes Live next.